The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello everyone, it's another video and I've got some really cool things to talk about. So if you're ready, let's do this. So the first book, I just want to say it took me forever to read because I just kept procrastinating, I'll admit. But when I finally said, all right, fine, I'm going to read it. And then I thought, why did I wait so long? And sadly, this is an author that I've not really read too much by. In fact, I've only read, this is my second book by him that I've read. And this is Kurt Vonnegut's God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. So I purchased this book a while ago, but like I said, just getting caught up in library books and buying books and things just keep getting shuffled around and whatnot. But finally delving into this book, and I chuckled, raised my eyebrows, and when I finished it, I went, that was an amazing book. So Vonnegut. It's really Vonnegut. So let me read the back of it for you. Elliot Rosewater, drunk volunteer fireman and president of the fabulously rich Rosewater Foundation, is about to attempt a noble experiment with human nature, with a little help from writer Kilgore Trout. God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater is Kurt Vonnegut's funniest satire, an etched-in-acid portrayal of the greed, hypocrisy, and follies of the flesh we are all heir to. And about Mr. Vonnegut, if you don't know, his black humor, satiric voice, and incomparable imagination first captured America's attention in The Sirens of Titan in 1959 and established him as a true artist with Cat's Cradle in 1963. He was, as Graham Greene declared, one of the best living American writers. Mr. Vonnegut passed away in April 2007. And I do have to say that there was a time when I visited Indianapolis, and if you've been, I think it's downtown or something like that, but there's a huge mural of Vonnegut against one of the buildings. And I thought, this is really, really cool. But yes, this was very black humor, very satirical. I found myself, like I said, shaking my head, chuckling, raising my eyebrows. But overall, it's just pure Vonnegut. And I highly recommend reading God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. Some of the most I love reading books that have eccentric characters, and there's a plethora of eccentricity in that book. But it does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. So to the spirit of Mr. Vonnegut, thank you so much. And I promise I'm going to read more of your books really soon. I really promise, because Slaughterhouse-Five was the first book I ever read by Vonnegut, and I loved it, of course. What is it, Pert Tu Oui? And I saw that in God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, and I just kind of went, yeah, I get it now. But yes, solid black comedy, satirical work with characters that even when you close the book, you're still going to be thinking about them for quite some time. So Kurt Vonnegut's God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. Just buy it and read it, or check it out from your library. You won't regret it. And now the second book is the first book written by an author never heard of before. And this book comes from the Arapahoe Library System. So many thanks. Yay, Sheridan. But yeah, I kept seeing this book in the stacks, and I thought, well, what's this book about? And I opened it, and I kind of was like, oh yeah, whatever. What a delicate, beautiful love story. And this is Touch by Olaf Olafsson. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. So let me read the dust jacket for you. A mesmerizing panoramic story of one man's search to find a lover who suddenly disappeared decades before. Christopher is forced to shutter his successful restaurant in Reykjavik when the pandemic hits, sending him into a spiral of uncertainty even as his memory seems to be failing. But an uncanny bolt from the blue, a message from Miko Nakamura, a woman he'd known in the 60s when they were students in London, both inspires and rattles him as he is drawn inexorably back into a love story that has marked him for life. As the pandemic upends his world, Christopher finds himself pulled toward an answer to the mystery of Miko's sudden departure decades before, compelling him to travel to London and Japan as the virus threatens to shut everything down. A heart-wrenching love story and an absorbing mystery, Touch delves into the secrets of the past to explore the hidden lives we all possess, the pain and beauty of our past loves, and friendships that continue to leave their mark on us. Searching and lyrically rendered by acclaimed author Olaf Olafsson, Touch is a stunning tribute to the weight of history and the complexities of the human heart. I really can't add anything more to it. This was a beautiful, gentle, quiet love story. And when the secret is revealed, it's like, oh, why didn't I see that before? Okay, that makes sense. But what a beautiful story between this Icelandic man whose memory might be leaving him and this Japanese woman who pretty much changed his life and turned his world upside down. But a beautiful, beautiful story. Very quiet. And I like that. And about the author, Olaf Olafsson was born in Reykjavik, Iceland in 1962. He studied physics, as a Wien scholar at Brandeis University and is the author of 6 previous novels: The Journey Home, Absolution, Walking into the Night, Restoration, One Station Away, and The Sacrament, and a story collection called Valentine's, which actually I have a copy of The Sacrament upstairs waiting for me. He spends his time in New York City, Sag Harbor, and Reykjavik. But what a beautiful love story. I just, this doesn't feel like a romance novel, but it's very much a love story. And I was right there with Christopher and Miko. I wanted to know, well, why did Miko leave all those years ago? But touching, and especially with the pandemic being the backdrop, I mean, it changed everybody's lives. And so reading about these 2 fictitious characters and how their lives were impacted by the pandemic, it just made it all the more beautiful. So Touch by Olaf Olafsson does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. That was a stunning novel to read. And like I said, I have The Sacrament upstairs. And right now I'm currently doing battle with 2 books. So once I'm done with one of them, then I'm definitely going to jump into The Sacrament. But many thanks to the spirit of Kurt Vonnegut and Olaf Olafsson for their beautiful, funny, satirical, human books. Many thanks. And now getting to the tea portion, I don't have a review, but just a highlight about one of my blends in my company. So this is Greymatter tea blend, and the ingredients are black tea, ginger, spearmint, and cinnamon. And the black tea is an Assam tea, which is kind of mild, earthy, kind of mellow tasting. So this blend was inspired by my boyfriend's books, and they are The Lost Dreams Bookshop, and also The Engine Key. So you can get copies of the books and the tea through my website, viridianteacompany.com. Unfortunately, this is the only bag of Greymatter that I have left. And Greymatter is his nickname in terms of his writing, by the way. But yes, very spicy, minty, but that's the kind of writing that he does. I asked him, I was like, how do you categorize your writing? He's like, weird. I said, okay, I'm going to go with that. So The Engine Key and Lost Dreams Bookshop, you can purchase both of these books through my website, viridianteacompany.com. And like I said, again, this is the last bag of Greymatter that I have in stock right now. So if you want it, come and get it. So this is going to be a short video, so my apologies for it, but we're ready to meditate. So make sure that you have some water or a cup of your favorite tea with you. This is Orange and Spice Herbal Tisane from Bigelow. I've had this blend on the I've consumed this tea a couple of videos ago. There you go, words. So find yourself in a comfortable position in a quiet room where you're not going to be disturbed, and make sure you have some liquid refreshment afterward. We're just going to focus on our breathing. We're not going to do any kind of chanting or mantras or anything like that. And I always say this, and I'll keep saying it, your mind's going to wander. It's normal. But just pause in the thinking, Tell yourself thinking quietly and allow that thought to kind of go on, like if you were changing a channel on your TV. Just return to the breath. And if you have to keep doing it, that's okay. We're just going to breathe. So if you're ready, let's do this. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now have a sip of your water or your tea. That's so delicious. So I do have to share a story. This happened at Mutiny Market a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week, I can't remember. But there was a customer who came up to my table and she had a tattoo of a teapot on her arm. So I was like, oh, tea lover. All right, cool. And she says, I drink my tea hot all year. And I gave her a high five. I said, yeah, me too. I drink my tea hot all year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy a nice glass of iced tea, but seriously, a nice, not piping hot, not boiling, but I like to tell my customers, boil your water until you start to hear or see small fish eyes. Cut it off. You don't need to boil it. But right now, I'm just drinking this. Oh, it's nice warm, but so much good stuff. So good. Really good. So that's all I have for today. Oh, but before I do send you back off into the ether, rest in peace to James Earl Jones. The first time I ever heard of him was Darth Vader. And since then, like every time I heard his voice or every time I saw him act in a movie or whatnot, I just thought he was just an amazing person that was just awesome. I mean, just amazing, awesome, wonderful. And so rest in peace, Mr. Jones. And the force will be with you always. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Many thanks again to the spirit of Kurt Vonnegut and Olaf Olafsson, and to all the people who have done farmers markets and vintage markets here in Colorado and beyond. And as always, to you for watching these videos. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you. So until next time, just remember, to drink tea is to enjoy life. Raise that teacup high and go out there and do some good. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.